A new Gallup poll finds 57% of Americans have confidence the president will do the right thing when it comes to the economy. Here to talk about it is Brandon L. Comer, a managing partner of Comer Capital Group. Thanks for joining us. Before we get to the minimum wage, people had to get back to work first, and President Biden had to get them back to work by making sure that this country was safe to go back to work. How much did the COVID relief package, what did that do for the economy when it comes to Biden in his first 100 days?
Yeah, the COVID relief package was a tremendous asset as it relates to getting businesses reopened, for businesses to ensure that they had the cash flow to continue to pay employees during this critical time. So what you're seeing over this first 100 days is probably the most robust and holistic investment in people, communities, and infrastructure, that we've seen in decades, particularly for communities that have been underinvested and disinvested for such a long period of time. So, yeah, we're definitely excited to talk through the impact of not just the Corona, relief package, but what we're going to see announced today through the American Families Plan, as well as some of the investments that have been made directly into Black banks, MDIs, CDFIs, their abilities to lend into these communities and ensure that this progress is sustainable, over a long period of time and not just a short hit to the economy.
Yeah, digging out of a hole there. Hey, I was talking about the minimum wage, and yes, he's going to increase to $15 an hour. That'll be a lot, 15,000 for the federal workers. Why is it so hard to pass? I mean, we're a rich nation, right, here in the United States. Why do you think it's so difficult to get that $15 an hour minimum wage passed across the board for all workers here in the States?
I think we have to reimagine how we think equity, right? I think we have to understand that an investment across a particular subset of people is actually advantageous for the economy at large. And that messaging, whether it's relative to minimum wage, whether it's relative to investment in underserved communities, often carries a narrative as if there's a charitable component to it, when in reality, ensuring that there's equitable pay, ensuring that there's equitable investment actually benefits the country at large. It increases growth. It helps to increase productivity and GDP. So the country definitely benefits, when these types of actions are taken. But I think the messaging and the narrative is oftentimes diluted and allowed to be diluted to a charitable conversation versus the actual economic impact and what that means to the economy at large.
Yeah, we got to have those conversations. And when you have these initiatives, any administration, obviously there's a high price tag, and that means the American people have to pay for it. A lot of people in the GOP, they want to make it seem like everybody's going to get hit in the pocket. You shouldn't be for this because this is going to hit you in the pocket. Dispel that or talk about that. Who is this going to impact when it comes to higher taxes? And talk to the people in the middle class and maybe the lower class, and make them feel at ease about how this is going to benefit them and not take money out of their pockets.
Yeah, so this will definitely impact the highest net worth individuals and earners. The middle class will not feel the brunt of this. Lower socioeconomic classes won't feel the brunt of this. But the reality is, this is so holistic that even as this is being paid for, you'll see an increase, in your communities. So as schools are being developed, old schools being demolished, an increase in workforce, you'll see so much productivity in your local community, which raises your local ad valorem tax base, which therefore reduces potentially the local taxes that you'll have to pay as you, increase products and services. So I think oftentimes we look at these things in silos when, because this has such a comprehensive approach, it will actually lead to local economic growth. We need to look at it holistically because the benefit, will take form in various different ways beyond just what you're paying in federal income taxes.
Yeah, well, and then people, business owners will say, well, this is going to cost jobs. But we saw jobs go up, 916,000 jobs since last summer. That's a huge increase since last summer. Obviously, a lot of people were out of work because of the pandemic, but still
Right.
below pre-pandemic levels. Looking into your crystal ball, do you see that number increasing to a point where we can feel comfortable again?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll see jobs growth, and a key component of all of this is investment, in community colleges and providing a more skilled labor force. The reality is people have to be equipped and have the tools to be effective in this new economy. So, and that requires investment. Frankly, a level of investment that we haven't seen up until this point. So, yeah, I feel very confident that with some of the tools and resources that are being put in place, we'll see a more skilled and equipped workforce, and we'll see increased productivity, particularly as companies start to ramp back up to pre-pandemic levels, and we begin to see a continuous increase, in the hospitality industry, which obviously has a major part of those numbers.
Absolutely, got to get the people back in the hotels as well when they open back up. Real quick, are you any concerns? Any concerns about inflation or higher taxes because of everything that's happening, because of the initiatives that President Biden and his administration is trying to put on the table?
Well, I think that that's something that's certainly being considered. The Fed's monitoring closely. I think that we have a little bit of ways, a little bit of runway before that becomes a major concern. So right now, we really want to focus on investment. We want to, business to focus on investment, making capital investments. You're seeing so much go to state and local governments. So you see a lot of construction. You'll see a lot of short-term work as it relates to construction jobs and things like that. So I think as we continue to put more money into the system, and the Fed monitors that closely, we've got a little bit of runway before that becomes a true concern.
Yeah, if you can get that infrastructure package passed through Congress, then of course that's going to add jobs when it comes to construction as well.